Us to look through the international newspapers. Hello there.
Hi, Catherine.
We're going to be starting with coverage of the Nairobi attack.
That's right. One theme that's recurrent today is the international aspect of this attack. First of all, the fact that the victims were from all over the world. That's on the front page of The Independent today. You have a lot of photos of these victims. So citizens from Kenya, of course, but also Canada, the US, Peru, 10 countries in total. Now, The Independent says that they had come from around the world, and so it seems did the Islamist killers. They were the victims of a multinational terrorist force. So that's another international aspect that's also getting the attention of The Independent. Now, according to al-Shabaab's own tweets, the attack was carried out by fighters from Somalia, but also the US, Britain, Canada, Sweden, Finland, Syria. The list is very long, and The Independent says the threat of international jihad is rearing its head.
Okay, and the British participant, alleged participant, maybe we should say, a woman who converted to Islam. This is being reported very widely in the British press.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the Daily Mail, which actually quotes some survivors who described how this woman in a veil appeared to be actually commanding the other terrorists as they hunted down non-Muslims. Now, according to the Daily Mail, Kenyan authorities suspect it could be a 29-year-old woman who's known as the White Widow, Samantha Lewthwaite. That's her name. Now, she was married to one of the bombers from the suicide bombers from the London bombing in 2005, so that's where she got that name, the White Widow. And the Daily Mail points out that she could in fact be the brains behind the attack in Nairobi, and says that she is one of al-Qaeda's main recruiters in East Africa, and in fact an official spokeswoman for al-Shabaab. So that's according to the Daily Mail. The Washington Post, meanwhile, is taking a closer look at the fact that allegedly Americans were also among the attackers. They quote the Kenyan foreign minister, who says that between 2 and 3 Americans aged between 18 and 19 years old of Somali or Arab origin, according to the Washington Post. Now, 2 of them are allegedly from the Minneapolis-St. Paul, so the Twin Cities area in Minnesota. Now, that's one of the world's largest Somali populations outside of Mogadishu.
Okay, and I'm sure plenty more analysis of that still to come as this situation unfolds. Moving on to another story, though, international papers also focusing on the UN General Assembly kicking off today, in particular focusing on a potential meeting between the Iranian and the American presidents.
That's right. There's an opinion piece in the International Herald Tribune by Human Match. He's an Iranian-American journalist who says, give Iran a chance. And he says that both Obama and Rouhani embraced hope and change as candidates, and it would be a tragedy if either of them failed to seize this moment. And there's a similar feeling in The Independent today in their editorial. They say it's normal to be wary when dealing with Iran on a diplomatic level, but this new president of Iran seems to be making encouraging noises. Iran's overtures should be taken in good faith. But there's a very different opinion in the Wall Street Journal today in their editorial, and they say that this Iranian gesture is just a mirage. The ruling clerics in Tehran haven't survived in power for 34 years without cunning, and according to the Wall Street Journal, all this is really just a trap.
Okay, well, moving on to Pakistan, the press there reacting to anger over that deadly attack on a church in Peshawar.
That's right. The nation calls this a national tragedy and is very critical of the Prime Minister and says that a reality check is in order for him. And if he can't act after the death of 80 people, well, maybe he ought to resign and let someone else do his job, according to the nation today.
Okay, we've just got time for a very quick mention of Angela Merkel, known as Mutti,
That's
mother
right,
to the
Mutti,
Germans.
mother. Bill takes a closer look at this Mutti-effect. Why do we see so many photos of her with young men with their arm around her like this? Well, they take a closer look. She's close to the people. She's down to earth with her love of baking, etc. a feeling like people can really relate to her and has this motherly effect on a lot of young men, like this young man in Bill.
Wow. I wonder if people are lining up to try and have a cup of tea with Angela Merkel and one of her home-baked cakes. Thanks very much, Florence Villemino, there with a look through the international papers here on France 24. Time for us to take a break, but coming up in the next half hour of live news, we'll bring you the latest from Nairobi, that unfolding situation at the Westgate shopping centre.